Welcome, one and all. Welcome to our wonderful show here tonight. If you guys are going for the retro show, that's in a couple hours. So, same back channel here. And let's tonight, again, as always, I welcome my wonderful cohort in crime. That's Mr. Russ Meadows. How are you,
Hello,
Russ?
everybody.
And tonight, let's see, how are we on people? Let me.
Have a few so far.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Let me put up the yeah, there we go. So good evening, Mako. Good to see you. Good evening, Paul. And they've been saying hello to everybody around here. And then
Yeah.
I'll let's see here. Let me
Got Dave Krause is in the group.
Dave, good to see you. All right, let's see here. View on YouTube. And
Mako likes your shop.
thank you. It's not mine. But it's
It's a
but
nice
it's a great
shop.
shot. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Let's see here. Pop out chat and close this. And there we go. Just want to. All right, here we go. So, what we're going to do tonight is I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I do have the other chat. I had it under the window. I was looking for my. I always have the YouTube chat open, even though I can barely keep up with it. So that's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the many reasons my friend Russ is here. So tonight we're going to do some kitchen stuff. And when I say kitchen stuff, I mean just a couple neat little items for the kitchen. But I'm not just going to do a couple kitchen things. I'm going to show you a technique or two because I like to not only it's going to be basics, it's going to be a little bit advanced, a little of both, not too advanced, and it's going to be some really another cool kitchen craft. So hopefully you guys will like tonight's show. So without further ado, let us go to our wonderful design program here. As always, Vectric VCarve, and let's go ahead and create our create a new file. And this time we're going to do, really doesn't matter, but let's make it 12 by 12. That sounds good. We're going to do a 12 by 12 today, and that'll be the outside frame. As always, 3/4 inch. That's fine. Now, here's what we're going to do today. Today, I'm going to show you how to freehand a design. So let's take our little, let's take our line tool here. I don't want to draw an arc. I want to draw a curve. So we just want to draw a curve. Wait a second. Is that vector texture? Yeah. Let me see. That's not what I want to do. Give me a second, folks. I'm looking for the freehand tool to draw a regular line. My mind is going. And that's not it either. Why am I drawing a blank on this? Russ, is there even a freehand tool? You're muted, by the way.
I don't. I've never used one on there.
I'm so used to all the different programs, and I guess. Well, okay, folks.
I do the arc most of any.
Yeah, okay. We'll do it with the arc. We'll do it with draw curve here. And now you got to have some idea in your head, okay, of a curve. And let's just start in the center, and we'll start here. I'm going to think of, let's say, I'm going to draw a coffee cup, okay? I'm going to draw a coffee cup with perhaps a little bit of smoke. So first thing I want to do is draw a little smoke here. So I'll draw that. Oh, it's on. Hang on a second, folks, because it's on the snap tool. That's one thing I don't want. If you guys are, if you guys have the preferences where the, let's see, tool paths. Goodness gracious. It's either under options or preferences. No, it's not options. It's preferences. It's not preferences. Okay. Wow, it's one of those days today. I'm trying to get rid of the. I thought it was under preferences. Hang on. There is no preferences. Okay, let's try options again. Snap options. There we are. I'm blind. All right, so I'm just
You,
gonna take off all the snapping.
you would have heard me tell you that if I wasn't muted.
If you weren't muted, you gotta stop muting. You gotta keep that button on the
Oh
off the
yeah.
mute there. Okay,
I
so
told you twice, my
I'm
God.
taking off all snapping, and now we're going to draw. Let me see. I wonder if this. Ooh, that nice. Okay, I
Oh,
don't
what
like.
a heck of a design.
Yeah, that's not what I want. But hang on a second. Let's just. All right. So what I want to do is I want to draw some curves, some nice curves, and I'm going to start here. And what I'm going to do is just do a click here, and if you've got an idea in your head and it's a fancy curve, just remember to draw a few little points here, here. I'm going to make it go bigger here. I'm going to draw it go around this way, and then perhaps go this way, and then I want to do a nice big say a curve toward the inside. So
Kevin
and,
L's just joined us. Hi, Kevin.
all right, so there's my goofy little curve, and then I want to draw another curve. I'm going to draw it like from here, and say it's not going to be too much of a curve here, but then here it'll be one heck of a curve, and go down because this is kind of well, basically, it's a very poor rendering of a coffee cup. Very poor rendering.
He said he
Okay.
knows the software, folks, but he didn't claim to be a good artist.
Oh no, definitely not. Now, obviously, no coffee cup is complete without a saucer. So
Right.
there's the worst saucer in the world. Now, obviously, we fix these things in post, as they say. So let's go to our node tool, and okay, that coffee cup looks okay. So let's actually that's pretty good over here. Where this one we want to go in a little bit, and this over here, and yeah, that's fine. That could use a nicer curve, but for that we draw arcs and stuff like that. This is fine because it's a bunch of smoke. Hey, I just don't mean to blow smoke up here.
Ah,
There we go. Let's see here. Let's
say hello to Kevin and Chris Copenhagen.
Good to see you, Kevin and Chris. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and move this whole entire curve over to the middle here, and move these lines over here. All right, so we have a general, somewhat decent looking. Again, everything I do here is quick and dirty. So if you guys want to do, tweak your coffee cup, tweak your coffee cup. Now, well, this I don't like. That doesn't look anything like a saucer. Let me get rid of
like
this.
A fried egg, man.
Yeah.
One now.
I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to get rid of this one. There. Now that looks a little bit more like a saucer. Let's just increase this size. Fewer curves sometimes are better. There it is. There's my saucer. Mm-hmm. And this curve has got to go this way. All right. So, in fact, let's see if I can lessen the curve now. This is all fine. Okay. So we got that. We got a very, very rough looking coffee cup. Now, here's the technique I want you guys to practice is the offset. Basically, what we want to do is we want to create an offset. Again, when you look at it, sometimes you don't know the size. You can go, okay, I want to create an offset. Let's see, from here to here, which according to this, it looks like it's 1/2 inch. So divided in 2, that's 1/4 inch. So I want to go outwards 1/4 inch. Let's try that. Again, this is all trial and error here. Hang on a second. Continue anyway. Boom. All right. We went offset, and that looks good. Now let's go inward. Actually, undo this. Let's go both, because we can kill two birds with one stone. Offset. It'll give you a little stupid annoying thing. I'm going to say not to show it again. All right. So it clearly, you see the original line is in red, and it clearly created a nice little outline. Okay, I like that outline. The outline's great. So let's go ahead and get rid of the inside one. Actually, let's just move it to a different sheet, layer. Move it to a new layer, layer 2, or I'll call this hidden. And new layer is not active and it's not visible. So boom, okay. And it should be, why isn't it hidden? I don't know.
You said copy it, you didn't say move it.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, let's go back to this one. My apologies, folks. I didn't even notice that. All right. So this is both. Wait a second here. Hang on a second. I've got 2 here and it stops here. See, this is what I didn't want. Okay, so I'm kind of glad I didn't. All right, so let's. You know what? This is it's not good where it is. Let me try to do this again on the inside and see if it undo this. It's not the inside. It's the outside. Let's try to do this again. There we go. There we go. I want the whole entire line, so you don't want both. You want one and then the other. Anyway, let me make sure I'm on the right layer. Okay, so this layer already has the original, so I don't need the original anymore for this one. So let me just get rid of this. This one, same thing. I'll get rid of this one. This one, I didn't choose it yet. I will now, and I'm going to do the same thing. You guys are going, what the hell is he doing? Well, you'll see. It's usually how the show starts. What the hell is he doing?
Marvin just joined us. Hello, Marvin.
Outwards, and we'll do an inwards. And there it is. And the middle one, we will move to layer hidden. Boom. All right. So we have our relative coffee cup. Now, I know what I want it to look like, so here's what I want to do. I'm going to take this line here. I'm going to go with my nodes. Again, you got to have some semblance of an idea in your mind. That is really ugly. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to stretch this into this one. That was the last node, by the way, folks. All I did was just stretch this line into here. And then what I'll do is I'll take the scissors and I will cut this, I will cut this, and I will cut this. And then now I want the ends joined, and I want them joined in a tip. So first of all, like I said, this does not suit me. This is way too many curves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each one just to show you guys so I can do it a few times. The smoothing tool, where is the smoothing tool? There it is. Fits curves to vectors. Is that it? Yep, that's the one. And then I'll say preview. There it is. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Click OK. Now this one here, same thing.
Next one.
Sorry, thank you. Curve fit, preview, OK. And these two, curve, where are you?
Down.
Yeah, I'm really losing it tonight. Okay, all right. So I've got, hopefully, let me see. Let me select everything. Yeah, everything is. Let me see if. I missed one. This one. Got it and done. All right. So what I basically did was, when I created those lines, those outer offsets and inner offsets, it was really, really way too detailed. I didn't need them like that. I needed them exactly like this, because now what I can do is here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to zoom in. This point, I'm going to bring it right over here. I will turn this point. See, this point is not smooth. Now I'm going to turn it smooth. In fact, okay, S for smooth. Where are you? S for, why isn't it doing it? Okay. Oh, I know why. Okay, so let me.
Are they joined right there? At where that,
They are not there, but they will be
okay.
in a second. See, that was the next step, is just grab these 2 points and just join with there it is, and you'll see what it did was it just joined them there. I'll just go ahead and get rid of this point, and for some reason, nope, I didn't want to delete the whole thing. Undo. All right, I'll smooth them all. Oh, I'm not in node editing. Wait, yes I am.
Yes, you is.
I'm in node editing tool. Yet I always do this. There's a reason why these things are not. I choose it. I hit S. Maybe it's because it's not closed. Let me close it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so let's go ahead and close this. Okay, so that one is closed up there. I'm going to go ahead and close it over here by moving this up here, and then I'll grab these two, that one, and that one. And what I'll do is grab those 2 points and do the old close. There it is. I'll move this one over here. Whatever. I'll fix it in post. I'll just grab this one here. I'll grab this one here, and I'll just, again, same thing. All right. So, oops. Let me make sure I did it. Yep, it did it. Okay. So everything, it should be closed completely. This shape. So let me go ahead and double check it. Actually, not yet. I want to continue with this one. I want to do the same thing over here. But what I want to do is this side. I've got the design in my head. This side, I want to go over here. I want to go over here. And then I'll just do this. Cut this, and cut this. There, I joined those. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to go over here. I don't want to make them, I don't want to cut them together. I want to actually, let me just get rid of this piece. Whatever, I'll just do it this way. Again, select these two and join them. All right, so what I'm okay, basically, guys, I've taken a line. So that's the whole idea behind all of this. If you have a drawing that's a line, and I just did a line, like for instance, if you want to do some scroll work and you draw a single line, as long as it's as long as the line, you could draw a bunch of lines, but make sure each of the lines overlaps in some way, shape, or form. For instance, the dish over here overlapped, or at least it should have. This line crossed this line. This little cup, the line crossed into here. And then basically this was one big swirl, and it went all the way up to the top. And so all the lines were connected. If all the lines are connected, when you do the shapes outward, all you have to do is connect, 2 ends, if you will, the ends of both lines. You bring them together, and there you go. You've got one whole shape. Now, just to make sure I've got one whole shape, well, actually, I just clicked on it and it selected everything. So I'm assuming it's one whole shape. Let me just make sure that I can do the S thing now.
Well, Mako had a question, but I think Chris answered it.
What was the question?
He said, does VCarve post in G code? I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Does vcarve post in G code? Yeah,
Yeah.
it has a G code post processor.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
it does.
And I'll show that to you now. Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and close all the join open vectors. Let me see. Nope, no open vectors. Good. And now the last thing I want to do is I don't understand. I wish Mark was here because he works with this on a regular basis. I don't understand why I can't. If you guys have any tips out there, why I can't make these points smooth. I'm drawing a blank myself. Let me see. Can I make a start point there? Close vectors, join vectors, exit. No, no. I can't seem to make them smooth. Well, I'm not worried about it now, but oh no, they are. Never mind. They are smooth. I'm looking at the handles. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm losing it here. All right. So let me just select all the vectors and see if there's any possible way I can hit them all at once. Unfortunately, yeah, it did it. It connected. It made all of them smooth for me. And now this one, I want to unsmooth because I do want a solid. I do want a corner here. Okay, so we got that. These are smooth. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one.
We got Ed Newman and Frankie's just joined us.
This one isn't smooth. Some of them are smooth, some of them are not. So I'm just going to, delete the ones that don't look good. Let's see, here we go. No. Oh, now I know. Are they arcs? Are these things actually arcs? Oh, that's not good. Oh, yeah, here we go. Select all. Let me see if I can select all of them. That's what happened, folks. They were all arcs for some reason or another. All right, let's just select everything. Right-click on the line, on one of the lines, if I can. No, I won't do it to all of them. It'll only do it to some. Well, I'm not worried about it. It looks good enough. This one I will adjust. All right, so this to Bezier. Smooth this. There we go. So, I mean, okay, you guys get a general idea of what I'm doing. And I don't know why they...
Mako has another question.
Yeah.
He said, maybe, Javi, you could show us an easy design, then you could show us cutting it on your router if possible.
Well, I would, except...
He's not in his shop.
No, I am. I am in the shop, but like I've mentioned in the past, I cannot and will not show you stuff on the router because the bottom line is it will take 6 hours to between. Hang on, let me get back to this. Okay, so. There's a problem with you. You cannot do a show like this, a 1 hour show. I can do designs all day long, and I could show you the final cut piece. I have 2 or 3 designs that I made in the past. Made them for my daughter. I already sent it to her, so I'm sorry I couldn't show you those. I will be showing you a few others. I'll see if I can get her to bring me the dice thing. So then I'll show you that one and the key and all that. And there's some other ones that, frankly, I'll be flat honest. I don't want to waste the wood for something that I'm not going to use, and it's just going to go into the fire pile because I'm not a rich YouTuber by any means. I'm lucky to get $10 a month from YouTube, and that's because I have 1,500 followers. If not, Not even 10, maybe 5. But anyway, um, so I mean, there's a number of reasons why I will never, um, I will more than happily, when I have my shop, you have my promise that I will be cutting stuff and show you the muted film. That's all I can do, because uh,
Time
watching.
constraints.
Anybody that has a router, watching a router carve, even a simple design, for 20 minutes is basically, I'd lose my entire viewership if I did something like that, because everybody tune out. Um, I understand. I know there's a lot of people that criticize others for, oh, he's doing, and I'm not mentioning names, but I've heard some people say like I'll name one name, Mark Lindsay, who's a very good friend, and I love what he does. He doesn't show you what he's finished with. Sometimes he does, but not every single week. He does that for a good reason, and that is nobody's going to watch him carve for an hour and a half, so some piece. Um,
Big D's in the house, by God.
I had a different opinion before. I go, that doesn't make any sense. How could they? So I'm like you, Mako. I'm like, yeah, how could they do all these designs and not show the final product? Well, I'll show the final product, and in fact, on this one, I'll probably cut it this week. But this one I will invest the wood in, because it's a nice little kitchen thing. And I promise you, when I have the shop and I'm all set up for it, great. But you guys know my circumstances. Basically, I've got right now a green screen behind me. It's blocking the CNC. That CNC runs once every 3 months, because I've got priorities. And right now, my house is the priority. And for the next year and a half, I will not be CNCing. I'll be happy to share my knowledge with you and retro shows and stuff like that. But that's the short answer. But and I get a little worked up, because I feel the same way. It's frustrating to see, somebody doing, it's like if Bob Ross just talked about painting and didn't do anything.
Wow.
I mean, that's how I feel. So I know how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. And others feel that way and stuff. And until you do a show on a regular basis, you don't realize. I used to do the and you guys, if you guys go to Javi.com and see the Learn CNC with Javi episodes, I did like 30 of those, and I would do some simple projects. And the following week, during the week, I would cut the project, and in the corner of the screen would be the video. And that's what I continue to plan to do in the future when I have the shop. But in the corner of the screen, I would actually have running in time-lapse mode the last project I did. And I'd show you the last project when it was over, meanwhile doing next week's project. And that was a great little format, except it took up 7 or 8 hours of my week. And you guys have heard me say it over and over and over. Time is my most valuable, most treasured asset. And as long as I enjoy what I'm doing, I'll share it. But when I stop enjoying it, I'm not sharing it. This is frustrating, because I'm trying to get these. Okay, so I'm trying to get these to Bézier's Bezier curves. I keep calling them Béziers like it's something bad, and I don't want to do each one of them. Let me see if I can do a bunch at a time. Anyway, what we're doing here, all I'm doing here is just smoothing it out. And the problem was it didn't smooth it in curves, but this is good enough for now. Okay, so here we go. This is, except that's ugly as heck. Hang on. Let me do this. Bezier, 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 Bezier. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Bring this up here. Bring this over here. And okay, so we're working with a few lines here. Bezier. All right, that's a little better, not much, but good enough for cover.
But Dave Clemens says he's the same. He said he has his priorities. He said he can't build his Gatton until he finishes his shop.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. And there's a lot of people that look, I've got, by the way, folks, feel free to congratulate me. I am at 197 Javi boxes sold. So I should be breaking 200 by the end of March, if not sooner. Well, probably soon, by the mid-March. And out of those 200 or so that I sold, I would guess that about 25, and that's probably a very, very low estimate, probably a lot more, have not built their machines yet. So don't feel like you're alone. I've got one guy, and I won't mention names. Good guy, well-meaning and stuff, and I've been in that boat myself. He bought it. He bought the Gatton. He found it. He didn't find my thing too complicated. He found the Gatton too. He was not too complicated. I got to tell you, the Gatton's a very, very simple and straightforward build. But he felt he took on too much, so he decided to order one of these to start off with, one of these Chinese ones or whatever. So he ended up. I mean, it's basically both my Javi box and the Gatton are sitting in a box in the corner. He's not going to sell them because he's going to eventually, when he gets around to it, that kind of thing, build it, and that's fine. But, this was one of my first clients. This is a year ago. And there have been people that have, 3, 4, 5 years with Gattons. I know from talking to Dave in the past. And it happens all the time. I can't tell you how many things I've purchased and never gotten. Look, there's a spring I bought about 6 months ago to replace the loose spring on my mower for the so I can have a good fast blade, because this is the spring blade. Hey, it's working. I'm not going to get under there and do it until it breaks. So but good. Friend of mine said once, a friend of mine, a priest, said to me, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I've heard that over and over and over in my life, and I never understood what it meant until he explained to me. I got the general idea, but it never really hit me until one time I said I was going to do something. And he called me on it. And he goes, hey, you said you were going to do this 2 months. Now, I was 16, 17 years old. You said you were going to do this 2-3 months ago. Why not? He goes, oh, I intend to. He goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, people on the, and he just said it bluntly, Catholic priest. If you look at the road to hell, it's loaded with people saying, I intended to be good. I intended to do this. I intended to do this. And the great intentions, but they never fulfilled them. Now, obviously, that's good. These are intentions that are neither good nor bad. They're just our own intentions. So there's no moral lesson in this case. And the older you get, the more you realize you got a lot more stuff on your bucket list. Mm-hmm. So you keep dumping it every now and then. But you said you were about to say something, Russ?
Oh, I just said Chris said his priority is not moving from the couch the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That's his priority.
That's a darn
Papa
good
says, priority. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we got this little thing here. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, now what is it going to look like? You'll see right now. So I'm going to take this little coffee cup that I did, if you will. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to create the tool path. And then I'll show you if you guys haven't lock this in place here. If you guys haven't seen you had a question about if VCarve did G code. I think that was the question. Although I don't know if we understood it correctly because it sounded like it was coming from one of the regulars who knows about this stuff. So I wouldn't think he'd ask that question. But here's the answer. Okay, I'm going to create the tool path. And what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to cut outside the line on this. It's going to make a little profile tool path outside, and I'm going to use a where's my 1/8 inch or whatever, 1/8 inch end mill. Select. I'm going to make it all the way through and calculate. All right. So
Troy just joined us.
Hey, good evening, Troy, and anyone else I haven't said hello to recently. So here's let's go ahead and reset and preview the toolpaths. This is as close to doing it for the moment as I get, which is creating the toolpath of what it should look like so you guys can pretty much see. The point of all of these exercises, more than anything else, is to teach you techniques in a haphazard random order and basically to get some projects out there, to give you guys some ideas. I know there are a couple of you who go, I follow you every day, and once every 2 weeks, I'll do one of your projects. So every 2 weeks, they're doing something that I did. So, I mean, that's a compliment. You know, I mean, I do it all the time I used to do it all the time. I used to get on this place on Pinterest, look at something, and go, I got to do that, and I made it. All right, so, and I highly suggest you guys to do that. Okay, so this time I'm going to use... rather than wood, I'm going to use a solid color, and it's going to be black. All right, so this is what I created. It's a very, I don't know, it's abstract art, but imagine this thing hanging on your wall, you know, in the kitchen. It's cute, it's nice, and if you're into that kind of stuff, if you're into taking your time and learning about different techniques, pretty soon you'll be able to do a bunch of these. And again, with the CNC, once you have the design, speaking of which, let me save it.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Abstract.
2020. Hello, Rob.
Hey, Rob, how's it going? So basically, this is a nice little simple design for you guys. And let's do another one that's a little less simple, but it's a pretty interesting one at that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and create a new one. And this next one, okay, first thing we want to do is one of our lessons in the past, we created a heart. So let's go ahead and let's create a heart again if we can, and let's see, we'll do that middle section. That's what is it, 12 by 12, so this is 6, and 3 from the top is 9. There it is. And we'll do the 3 and the 3. Okay, if you guys don't know what I'm doing, I'm basically creating, well, I'm going to do this part fast because it's on another show. But basically, we create a circle here. We create a circle here. We create a line from here to here to here. Well, we don't need that other one. Okay, so all we got to do is basically, at this point, we get rid of this one. Hang on a second. Where's our, there it is. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. And everything else is pretty much a heart. So now I can just go select everything and just merge it all into one big heart. And again, it's an ugly looking heart. Well, that's an easy fix because we're going to right here, go to the node mode, and convert, actually make this a smooth point, but we need to get rid of the arc. So to Bezier, and now we can make this a smooth point. We make this a smooth point. I missed a, nope, did I miss something? Well, maybe they're probably not joined. Hang on. Oh, they're joined. Okay. Somewhere along the way. Oh, I know what I did. Look at that. That's ugly. Okay, so let's go back to. All right, so delete this one. Delete this one. And this one, turn it smooth. All right. And now, clearly, I'd rather go this way on this. Whatever. Again, we're doing it extremely ugly. There's better ways of doing hearts. But right now, there's our heart. All right. So, that being said, we have our heart. I'm going to create something else now. Let's save this heart. Whoa, what's this doing here? All right, I'm going to save. Oh, there's another one here too, isn't there? Nope, that's just one. All right, right click and save it to a different move to layer, not copy. Yeah, almost made the mistake again. All right, so we moved it to a different layer. Now, let's hide that layer. And what I want to do now is see if I can do this in the time allotted. Yeah, I don't see why not. All right. Drawing, I'm going to draw some curves if I can't. I don't want to draw arcs. I'd rather draw curves. There we go. All right. Somewhat of a curve. Let's go ahead and duplicate them. Let's make them a little flatter. Again, I'm just something in my head is just random. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to go 8 rows is fine. Offset is going to be 1 inch, I guess. There they all are. Let me drag them down. Undo that. Let me make them 10 rows. Yeah, that looks good enough. Okay, so we got this. Now, let's go to that other one over here, that other layer, and make it active. Remember, whatever layer you're working on, make sure you make it active if you plan to do something in it. And I'm just going to go offset 25 inward. Boom, that's beautiful. Okay, now we have that. So there's a few ways of doing this. I'm going to send these back to the other layer because now I want them all in the same layer. Layers, let's go back to this one. This is a nice, beautiful kind of thing. Let me select just the lines and move them. Okay, there, that's a good place. Okay. One thing I could do is, let me hide this again. Hang on. I'm going to, I'm just going to do it the easy way. I'm tired of tired of doing it the hard way. I'm just gonna. There's the scissor. Just go clack, 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 clack. You know, when you're working with well, with anything really, sometimes I know in the past, anybody our age, we know that sometimes getting the right tool for the right job takes an hour looking for it, and you've got a name denomination here socket set. I won't say, which is a crescent wrench or an adjustable wrench, and you just happen to have it handy. By all means, use what you got at your disposables. How many times have I picked up an adjustable wrench and used it as a hammer because I didn't want to go across the shop to get a hammer, and it was a simple little, knock into something. So there's something to be said for that. Let me also get these three in here. All right. All right. So we've made ourselves a really nice design. Okay. And now here's what I want to do with that design. I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to say copy to layer 2, because I still want that middle one, and I'll show you why I want it in a second. But right now what I'm going to do is I want this every other line. I'm going to cut it. What do you mean, Javi? Watch and see. I'm cutting every other line. Like I said, sometimes just nope, that's wrong. What did I do? That one's there. That one's there. Oh, this one. See, keep an eye on what you're doing, because sometimes, okay, so there we go. That looks like a beautiful little heart, doesn't it? Oh, that's wonderful. Well, what happens when you put both of them together? Even better. Okay. Now, what you don't realize, unless you realize it, is that both shapes are actually this. Okay, let me group this. You see, there's the one shape, and there's the other shape. So, that being said, we're going to do a third one now, because we got 13 minutes, just enough time.
Well, before you get started on it, your cousin says, don't forget the valves. A heart always has valves.
That's right. That's right. There you go. Speaking of my cousin, okay, so let me take a little break here. I got time. Let me take a little break here, because Alex, see, my cousin Israel, I explained it to him, and I explained it on the show, but Alex doesn't know the details of what happened with the starter. He knew that I fixed it and stuff, but well, I'll make this a quick story because everybody heard it last week. But basically, I pulled out the starter and saw that it cost $200. And then I called the Toro company, and they told me, oh, it's about $250. But then they said plus parts. So it's $250 for the labor to change it, and $200 for the starter. And they changed the solenoid and the battery along with it just to be safe. So bottom line is it's about $600 if I was going to have the dealer do it. So forget that. Not for us. Both my cousins and I are, we've taken every part of the car apart. So, his father was a fantastic mechanic. So what happens? I take it apart, and lo and behold, let me see if you can see this here. Those little parts, two of them look like frayed wires. 2 or 3 of the other 3 are plastic pieces that look melted. That's what was rolling around between the brushes and the armature and the commutator, actually, the part of the armature that touches the brushes. Cleaned it all up. I cleaned the oil, sanded it with 600, and put it all back together. put it back in the machine, and I let out the magic smoke. I go,
Oh,
oh my God, did I screw this up or what? Oh no, no, what happened? What happened? And I'm turning and all of a sudden this bunch of smoke coming out and going, ah. So I got down behind it. See, the one thing I did not do, and this is very important if anybody's rebuilding any kind of motor, and I know this because I've rebuilt many a motor. One thing I didn't do is take a little Sharpie and draw a little 1 and a little 2 where the cups meet the middle, because you can inadvertently, when you put the screws back on, move it 180 degrees to the point where the battery cable is not sticking out, rather touching the engine battery. So when I was turning on turning on the mower, basically I was turning on the solenoid. So here was the circuit. Ground of the battery went to the motor ground, to the motor chassis. Positive of the battery went through the solenoid, and then the solenoid went to the motor body. So I was basically shorting a battery. And so one of the wires got a little hot and a little smoky, but luckily everything was fine. Took it out, flipped it 180 degrees, put it back, and let me tell you, that thing started like a dream on a battery with only 11 volts on it. So I mean, it was sweet. It was sweet. Anyway, so that's that story. Back to your program at hand. So here we have our wonderful heart. Now, what I want to do is I want to create something inside, like kitchen, the heart of the home. Okay, I saw that in something in Pinterest. So I'll take the drawing. I'll take this and I'll go kitchen. And that's the ugliest letter, so I'm not doing that one. It's just plain nasty. All right, so I'll do that one. That's good. And then I'll do another one here. The heart of, and then I'll do another one here because I want them to be the home. All right, so I want them to each to be a little bit different. Obviously, this one, okay, this one I want nice and big. As big as I possibly can without going crazy. All right, so that one there. That one I'll put right there. And this one, let's see what we can do with this. Okay, there. So let's shoot. Oops, there, redo. Bring this down a little and make this a little bigger even. All right, so we have a nice, beautiful little kitchen, the heart of the home. I'm going back to, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take the centering tool, center them to the project. Boom. Why?
Not good.
They got to be centered individually. Hang on a second. Align, center. There we go. All right, so that's centered. Let's lower this a little. That's good enough. All right, so here we go. We got kitchen, the heart of the home. Now, what do we want to do? We want to take, okay, so this one is one of the solid ones. So what we'll do is, first of all, let me get rid of those stupid lines here. Now I'm going to quickly take these pieces and these pieces and these, in fact, all these pieces. And, wait a second. First, I have to unite this. So these two are going to be grouped. All right, that's very important that you got to group those. Then I'll take all the pieces without the text, and I'm going to unite them all and hope this works. Yes, it does. All right, so there's our wonderful kitchen piece. Actually, that's not the way I wanted them to unite. Let me see. Yeah, that's not it. Let me. I may have to do them. Oh, I know why. I got to group the others as well. There's my mistake. Select all. Get rid of this, this, and now we can group these. And then we take this, and now let's see if they unite correctly.
Still not right.
All right, you know what? Instead of uniting them, I'm going to do this minus this and see if that works. No, that won't work. All right, forget it. I'll just do them. I'll do them all both together. All right. So one thing I do want to do though is I want to take. Okay. I want to take this piece and I want to create a simple little square from here, straight across, all the way up to about. Excuse me. Here. Let me go across to here because this is actually a solid piece. So I'll just connect it all to there and back down to here. Anyway, close the piece.
Jerry Brown just joined us. Been a
Hey,
while.
Jerry, good to see you. Let's see. This is all okay. Close, open one. Okay, perfect. So we have our pieces here. Now, one thing I did want to do is now I take this piece, and now I will sum those up together. And that is this way. Bam. Okay. So notice what I did here. I basically have this piece and this piece. I'm going to take and hope this works. I'm going to take these two pieces. Well, actually, all these pieces. Why is this? Okay, that's that piece. That's okay, good. So I'm going to take all these pieces. And I am going to, every time I choose one, and I unchoose another. Then I'm going to go to the toolpaths, and I'm going to do the outside. Let's see if this works. Go back to my wood color. Birch is fine. All right, so reset preview all toolpaths. Let's see if this works. And yes, it looks like it's working, except for one problem. Yeah, they do need to be joined. So I will do the following. I will unseparate these two. Okay, let me see. I want that as, okay, I'm trying to think of which is which. Okay, so that is solid. That is solid. Okay, so if I were to, I got it. All I got to do is undo this. Let me just, let me go to move this to layer 1. Let me go back to layer 1. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. So here we go. There's our piece. And we're going to take this out of it for the moment because we are going to do this. Calculate, reset, preview all toolpaths. Okay, we've created our little hearts. As you see, we can just delete this. And, well, I deleted the wrong ones.
Oh, Alex says, in quotes, hope this works. Let's see if it works. He said, good thing I'm not paying for this class.
I'm telling you. Good thing I'm not paying for the class. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. This is going to be fine. Drawing. I'm going to overlap, outwards, offset. There we go. And now we've got everything the way we wanted. Select all. Get rid of these three. Actually, let me do this. Let me do this first because I've been meaning to do this for a while. This, of course, we're going to create a new toolpath. It's going to be a V-carve. We're going to go, yeah, 15 is fine. Calculate. And we're good with that. The profile, let's go ahead and do the profile again. But this time, the profile, we have added, oh, goodness gracious. This stupid thing keeps unlocking for some reason. All right. Let's see if this works. Which I doubt it will, but I'm going to try it anyway. Hang on. Anyways, you guys understand what I'm trying to do here. And that is basically create this heart thing. By the way, I got to shrink it because it's over the size. Create this heart thing. There we go. It did work, sort of. The only thing I do have to do is... actually, that doesn't look half bad. The only thing I could do is just join the boxes here, but you get the idea, folks. Because I mean, I don't want to. It's 9 o'clock, so I'll go a few more minutes, but just to tweak it. But that's basically our second project there, and the way I should have done it was taking the inserts and cutting them out from the thing, but it works fine this way as well. So anyway, there's another little goofy doodad. Let me save this as well. Kitchen heart sign flag. I mean, it has stripes on it. What is wrong with this thing today? And okay, so folks, for you guys that if it's your first time here, we do CNC projects every week. Well, it's Javi Unboxed, so it could be anything. It just happens to be CNC now, but pretty soon I'll be up at the property within the next couple months, and I'll be doing projects up there. So it'll probably be, I may actually film stuff and show you the footage of stuff that was done, talk about construction work. I hope you guys enjoy that. Occasionally do the CNC project. That's always fun. It could be anything from learning how to finance a house to construction details to septic, to how to put in a septic tank, digging a well, clearing land. I mean, you name it. We've done it all, and we'll continue to. So bottom line is whatever comes out my you-know-what is it's
all fair game, huh?
All fair game. That's it in a nutshell. And by the looks of my followers, hey, you just want to be entertained by anything, and I hear you, because so do I. Just trying to tweak this over here while I'm chatting. So that's basically it for today. And tonight at 10 p.m., as always, Al Forte, and Russ, of course, is always welcome to join us. If it's not past your bedtime. Al and I will be talking about, VHS Beta Wars. Yes, the VHS Beta Wars. I'll give you a little preview of
Betamax and the VHS was a heck of a fight.
So this is going to be. Let me see here. This is going to be our background. So
look at all those movies.
Look at all those movies. So I mean, there's anybody. I'm going to start the show by telling everybody, anybody under 40, that maybe under 35, but no, under 40. They have absolutely no clue when you think about it. Because obviously they were, when you think about it, the kids that are 40 now were born in 82. And the first 10 years of their life, they're watching TV and are learning and stuff, but they're not going to go into a video store. Really, when you really are truly affected, at least for me, I don't know about you, Russ, but when you're truly affected by culture and society, that's probably from the age of 10 to 25. That's the biggest impact that I mean, 1776, the bicentennial moment. For me, that was extremely impactful. I was 11. In the 80s, it was high school time. So you're paying attention to all the latest fads, all the latest projects, So a lot of what I'm talking about is basically from 15 years old to, let me see, from 70s. At 1970, I was 5 years old. So, but from the age of from my early youth, from basically school age, from kindergarten through 12th grade, that's the 70s and 80s for me. Well, and college years. So all my academic career, which is how you're influenced by everything. And tonight's topic is going to be the beta VHS versus beta. I mean, anybody under 40 is 30 now. It's 40. Everybody that's 40 now, when they started going around to when they started driving, Blockbuster was already closed. It was 1997 when they started driving with a learner's permit. Think about that. 97. It's just nothing. It's 25 years ago. 97. And that's something to think about, because, I mean, all of us, we've lived, well, practically twice their lives. And we know of going to a video store and seeing that background behind us. We know and then I'll be sharing that with everybody out there. So every week, and pretty soon I'm going to have a video podcast. I still haven't gotten around to, one of the things on the bucket list. Still haven't gotten around to finding the I've got a place to put it. I don't really know the details on how to advertise it, so I'll eventually get there. This will be episode number, I want to say 6. I may be wrong. Tell you right now, of the retro show. This is episode number 9. Holy cow, I am wrong. It happens. Episode number 9 of the 70s and 80s, and it's going to be video recording tonight. Every week we do something different. Next week is going to be the Cola Wars. You guys know about Cola Pepsi Wars. I mean, new Coke, classic Coke. Oh,
that's a good one.
Yeah. And we'll talk about all the different colas and stuff back then, and how everything and anything of how stuff has changed. So the point of all of this is pure entertainment, is going back and mean, when I was talking about the Ice Cream Man, every show, no matter what. Um, when I was talking about the Ice Cream Man, I was remembering some of the. I started remembering and reliving bang caps. Because the Ice Cream Man carried it. Orange push-ups, things like that I haven't had in years. They're out there. Some of those are out there. Most of them are out there still. But then there's things like when I talked about the fads and stuff, corduroy shorts, corduroy leisure suits. I mean, or the we've had so many conversations when we talked about old stores. Kinney and Tom McCann. Those are two stores that I didn't think about them 30 years. There's a lot of these things that you don't really think about, and still in the back of your mind. Schoolhouse Rock. I haven't sung those songs in 25 years. I found I still remember 99% of them. So it's kind of fun. It's amazing how our young minds, especially when you get to, well, I'm 55, and then I imagine it gets worse when you're older.
Yeah, it does.
Even older. I mean, I'm here trying to, all of us. I mean, we're all around the same age out there, between their 50s, 60s, 70s, some even in their 80s. And you start to realize it probably in your mid 40s. Recall is the big thing. It's recall. I mean, we know all the stuff. I'm not senile. I haven't gone. It's just we've learned so much and too much. I don't know what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with these kids nowadays. It's kind of interesting to think about and philosophize about. There's philosophy. Hey, it's Javi Unboxed. It's not just CNC. We're talking philosophy today too. And when you think about it, I always thought my brain was like a library. You start with the kids section, and it's a small little section. I could memorize every book, not a problem. And kids can memorize everything. I can memorize every sound, every jingle on TV. Oh, fab! I'm glad. Hot dogs. Oh, I remember hot dogs. I mean, it's still fresh in my mind. I know that floor so well because I go up and down all the time, and I've traveled that floor many times. Then you get into your grade school years, your junior high, your high, and then all of a sudden you've got 50 years before you know it of a lot. You've got an 8th floor library packed with books, and you can't find where you put them. So it's not just one room anymore. That's my visualization of the human brain.
Alex is telling me I need to start an intervention right now.
There you go. Not happening. Not happening. But I'll tell you what happens though. Kids today, they're a little bit different in the sense that many of them are learning a lot. But a lot of them, it's they don't learn as much as they know how to research, which is not a bad thing. They know how to Google something. They don't know something, Google it. So they've gotten really good at finding information when they don't know it. Thus, kids, I say kids today, but teenagers, even 20-year-olds, 20 people, kids in their 20s, they don't need to know as much as they used to. I know how to rebuild a starter. I didn't look it up on YouTube and say, hey, although we could in today's day and age. We've done so many that it's our brand of adaptation, at least the makers in this community, is take something apart, put it back together. You're always going to have spare parts, but and the more and more you take stuff apart, the less and less, the more and more often it'll work. Because in the beginning, you put it back together, nothing works. But you learn how, okay, now I'm going to remember what order I took the screws in. Now I can take pictures of it. Now I can, et cetera, et cetera. So now you know how to put, the importance of putting it back together right if it's really complicated. But we could figure stuff out. which is a very important thing to have. One thing that I've thought about in years, and I'll end with this. One thing that I've thought about for quite a while as of late is, do kids really need to know all that anymore? Because we say all the time, oh, what happens when we don't have electricity? What happens if when we don't have electricity, it's going to be a lot worse fates than not being able to Google somebody on the internet.
That's for sure.
I mean, we won't have food, we won't have water, we won't have. I mean, so that's not a likely scenario. I mean, it's and even if we don't have electricity, we're not. Our survival skills, unless you're deep in the woods and or in Alaska where you're all alone and you've been doing it for God knows how many years and you're fishing, unless you're in that range, in a big city, forget it. You're toast. I don't care how, it's not like you're left on an island and have to make tools. That's a made up TV scenario. So when you think about it, since we don't need those skills because we have Google and probably always will, or some form of it, do they really need? I mean, I am an advocate that adaptability is the most important thing that a person should have. It breeds intelligence, but it's people won't get lost. You could be independent in to a degree, because nobody is truly independent. There are people cutting your food and hunting the animals and stocking the grocery store for you. There's people in the water company. You tell me you're truly independent, and I'll say, yeah, I'll call BS on that one. No such thing, my friend. We all rely on each other, but you kind of wonder about today's day and age. I love that dog and their squeaky toy.
No, I don't. I
So
really don't.
you gotta wonder about today's day and age, and think about that, and maybe think about doing a survival project for next week, because when you think about today's youth, it's kind of interesting, because my kids are I can speak for myself. My kids are ingenious. They're hard workers. I taught them the values. I taught them the moral values. I taught them work ethics, and more than anything else, my wife taught them everything. Because I was the example. I was an example, and she was like the teacher, and it worked best that way. Let me not screw up what she's teaching, and we'll have great kids.
Yeah. My God, she better hear that too.
She knows that's how I feel, but she never watches the show anyway. But I'll tell you, I'm very optimistic for the future, but I got to tell you, like it was in the past when we were growing up and our grandparents were talking to us and saying the same thing, things are changing too fast. It's the same thing now, and it's going to change, and it's going to be a whole completely different world. A lot of things change, stay the same. A lot of things change. Change is the only thing that'll stay the same.
Yeah.
So, folks, with that, I'll leave you guys to your fun and to your building. If you have any questions out there, who was it, Mako, that was asking about? I'll try to put a few projects out there when I can, but it's not going to be anytime soon. I have absolutely zero. I'll tell you right now. I'll make a promise to you. I have zero plans to turn on the machine as soon as right now I've really been focused on the build, and it looks like I'm on the I could see the tunnel at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel. So as soon as that starts, I'm there 24/7. I am no longer anywhere near a CNC. I will be near a computer with like I am here, so I'll be happy to when I can to share the techniques. So if anybody has any questions or any projects that you'd like me to design for you, by all means. Oh, okay. One last thing. When you go to create your, because you guys were asking about someone was asking about the toolpath. Um, click on toolpaths, okay, and you go to save toolpath. I mean, if you haven't done this already, or you don't know, this is how to get from the design to the machine.
That was
Basically,
Mako was asking that question.
okay, perfect. So, and what you do is now mine happens to be Cam Master, but if you have a Gatton, you'd be choosing G code or Mach 3 or G code. Let me see.
Be Mach 3, Mach 2, 3.
Yeah, Mach 2, 3. That's it. So,
Arc
so you go over here and you choose Mark 3 arcs inch or arcs millimeter if you're in millimeters, however you did it. And so Mach 3 arcs inch, and that's it. ATC means automatic tool changer. We don't have that. We don't want to spend $1,500 on this ridiculous piece. If that was the case, we'd be buying a different CNC machine. Not it's like putting a lipstick on a pig, or I don't know. It's like sticking a solid gold hood ornament on your 1980 VW 1975 VW Bug. There's no point. Buy yourself a Jaguar with the hood ornament already on it, and then we'll talk. But anyway, so if you scroll down, if you scroll up to the G's, you will see it says G code inch. That also will work, and I believe that'll also work for the Gatton, for Mach 3. Maybe not. I'm not sure. That is just standard G code, inches, millimeters, and then you have a choice of G code. You have a choice of G code arcs. I suggest you use arcs. The difference between the two is G code will go point by point, so there'll be a lot of stopping and starting. If you've designed it with arcs in particular, like I showed you in this video, if you have a very few nodes, so it's a lot of smooth transitions, then arcs is the best thing, because then that way a circle, for example, a circle will be drawn thusly. You got a circle, you got 4 points, that's 4 arcs, an arc from here to here, here to here, here to here, and here to here. All right, every 90 degrees, it's a 90-degree arc. And so you will see your machine go with arcs. You'll see it go zoom, 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 zoom. Now, obviously, it won't slow down if you put continuous or whatever. It'll go one big circle. But if you focus, it'll actually zoom up and then zoom down a little bit. And so on the curve of the arc, because it's creating one arc, not a bunch of points, it's actually going faster on the curve of the arc and then slowing down when it gets near the points. And depending on how straight the point, if the point is smooth, then it's barely going to slow down at all, because it's going to be a continuous thing. If you're going to do an arc like this and then it goes back, then it's going to slow down completely. And then and if you don't choose arcs, depends on the machine, and it depends on the G code being produced. You may end up getting something just very slow in transition. Again, the arcs are more efficient if you have this thing designed this way. And with that, so that's pretty much it. So so to end, yeah, rah. There you go. You have you choose your compiler, and then in my case it'll be Cam Master, if I can find it again. Oh, it's the first one. It's gonna be there. Oop. I have it on the top. Yeah. Okay, so I have my cam mount. I have whichever one you want. You click on Save Toolpath. It will give you something to save. It will automatically add TXT or TAP, whichever your appropriate extension is on it. You save it, and you take that file, drop it into a USB, take the USB to your, I mean, unless it's the same computer, then you take your USB drive with that file on it, drop it into your computer that's running Mach 3, and basically don't open it from the USB. You may have issues. You may have crashes, particularly if it's a big file. Copy your file onto your hard drive, the same hard drive that the Mach 3 is on. Then go to Mach 3. Now you're in a different program. Now you're in Mach 3. Open it up, run it. If it runs great, you're done. If you see it doesn't run that well, go back to your original, tweak it, and copy it again. And always remember to recalculate. For those of you beginners out there, calculate toolpaths. Some people, you change stuff and you don't recalculate, and you're going to save the old toolpaths. Always remember to save the toolpath. Always remember to save the file. The file or the project in vCarve is not the same as the toolpath. The toolpath is the G code. The toolpath, you could do all this work. You could save a toolpath, print it, do a nice, beautiful little frame, and then in the end, you close your computer down. You forgot to save the project. Now you have to recreate the whole thing.
I've been there and done that.
We all have. Most of us have. We all have. And so, I mean, once it happens to you a few times, you'll learn. You'll learn real quickly. But yeah, click save, and click often. And so you're saving your file that's in a CRV or CRV 3D, depending on whether you have vCarve or Aspire, or C or 2D or 3D. I don't know what Cut 2D or Cut, whatever the other two versions of vCarve are. Most of us use vCarve Pro because that's the one with vCarve. I mean, we don't use Cut 2D, and then that's it. That's it. It's as simple as that, folks. I mean, if you consider that simple. And with that, that'll bring us to another wonderful end of the show. So it's 9:30. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I will see you all. Let's see. Just notice the name of your machine. Little fact: worked 7 years as secure phone system shop chief in Cheyenne Mountain. Oh, okay. For those of you that didn't notice, see, I name my different computers. The one I'm working on here, my main one, my big one, my powerful one, the ridiculous one that costs as much as a car, that one is the MCP. For those of you who know of Tron fame, master control program. That's my master computer. The one here to my right, which is where I have all my where I have vCarve and stuff. This is the older computer that used to always crash on me intermittently whenever I did something graphics intensive or did one of these shows for too long a time, particularly the retro show after this show. There's something really messed up with the iMac, with the GPS, with the G graphics processing, whatever, with the graphics processor.
GPU.
Thank you. Was looking for the last syllable, for the last thing. See, 55. That it goes all, it was in the wrong floor. I was in the wrong floor in the library. The GPU overheats, locks up, crashes the computer, and there's no fix. You basically have to reboot, and it takes a while to get back on. So I left this fantastic as it is computer as my secondary one, and it is called Whopper, WOPR, from War Games, and I'll share the other names of my other. Oh, the other iMac that I have over here is of course Hal.
We had to have Hal.
Had to have Hal. Had to have Hal. Had to have Hal. Hal 9000.
Hal 9000.
But yeah, I gotta love it. And so one of these days I'm gonna get the. I've been meaning to do. That's one of my things on my millions of things on the bucket list. I've been meaning to put a startup sound of. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I used to have that. I mean, years ago on my Mac 19, and we'll talk about it on the Retro Show when we get to Macs. Hopefully, I'll remember that. If you guys are in the show, remind me whenever that happens to be. I don't know. I've got 52 weeks planned. My 1986 Mac Plus. I went crazy. By the way, for those of you, if anybody young is listening and or anybody that wants to customize their computer is brand new and you want to customize the desktop and the sounds and the songs and and don't bother. Soon as you reformat or upgrade or whatever and all those things disappear and you have to do it all over again once or twice, stock is best. Same thing happened with my car. My car, oh my God, I've done so many things to it. I don't think I've had anything other than a stock car for the last 20 years. And they've never broken. But when I do something to a car, I got to be working on it 24/7. No, no more. So I had my customizations, and one of the things was the error sound on that Mac was, "I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that." That was great. Yeah. Anyway. Hendrix had that. Hendrix, you're not alone. I had "Oh Joy."
I have it on my phone too.
From Sulu, I have "Oh Joy" from. I mean, years back on my Mac as well as one of the sounds. So, folks, have a wonderful week. I'll bid you adieu for the last time, and until next week, we'll see what we do then. Good night, all.